So now you can edit the rain noise out of it.
Oh, when you're like, all right, be quiet. I was waiting for my chair to like fall down or something again, like I did last time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's actually what that movie thing was for. The clicker thing.
Together because they're 2 different files. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I think hopefully you had the chair that I had last time because I thought it was Matt messing with me.
I don't know if you were the
like randomly, every time I looked over at Cody, my chair would drop like an inch, and I was like, all right, I was like, you're messing with
this
me.
in there.
Well, they came with the house.
I
So.
took way well.
Well, just the
No.
alcohol. I don't know.
Have we started?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're good.
Go ahead. You had questions. So
Well, introduce your employer here.
this is Kendall. What's your middle name?
Joseph.
Oh, I didn't figure you'd actually say that on camera. Kendall.
My government name.
Yeah.
My government.
Kendall Joseph Hamilton. Yep. He's our special guest for today.
Apparently.
What made you want to come on today?
Well, Cody asked me, and I figure he helps me about every day. So if I got to come help him for a few hours, that may.
So you think this is going to help?
Well, I think the paychecks every week probably help, but
That's true.
this ought to give me some points, I guess. Maybe I'll work harder on Monday.
Yeah. Did he sign the thing?
He did.
Okay, good. Now we own you. So
Did you read the fine print?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Said you guys were going to take me in the bathroom. Is that right?
You weren't coming out either.
So Austin, where do you got somebody signed up for next weekend potentially? So who's that? Or should you say that?
Potentially. I don't know. We might have Jenna Clift on next Sunday, but she's not really fond of cameras and things like that. So I don't know if that's a for sure thing or not. But I know we were just on the phone with Jim and Jay and Austin Winger out of Nashville, Tennessee.
And then Whistling Diesel, right?
Hopefully. That'd be cool.
That would be, if that happens, that would be awesome.
But yeah, so I think we set that for heading down there February 3rd, February 4th. We're going to get them in. That'll be a good time for sure.
Yeah.
It'll be really cool.
Yep, gonna pack up all the stuff and drive down there.
Do what?
Pack up all the stuff and drive down there.
Yep. With 2 hours of plans.
That's pretty much par for Cody's course.
Yeah,
He's never planned much.
Absolutely not.
That's how my life is.
Yeah, when we went to Mexico or whatever the other day, he's just like, hey, we might be going to the Grand Canyon here in a couple hours. And I was like, what? And then I guess they were having bad weather is what it was. When there was like a bad snowstorm or something. Yeah.
Well, he called me at my family Christmas about 2 years ago and said, hey, you want to go to Key West tomorrow?
Did you go?
Oh, hell yeah. It was awesome. It was a good time.
That man throws some badass bonfires. Who? Do you throw badass bonfires?
I don't believe so.
Oh.
They're talking about you?
Kendall got a whole fan base.
I can start if we need to.
Kendall has a TikTok following. He doesn't even know.
Austin.
You guys
Austin or Austin out of Nashville? Do you know Austin out of Nashville?
Oh, I forgot. It's got to be kind of confusing to watch that.
Yeah, for anybody listening, we're looking at Austin's live feed.
Yeah. That always makes good content.
Yeah, we should probably skip that part of it. We always get distracted
Kendall,
by it.
what's your star sign?
I'm a Taurus.
I don't know what that
You don't even get Kendall talking about.
Someone just called.
And if you want me to start talking about how ridiculous I think that is.
Yeah, go on it.
Yeah,
go
that's
on.
stupid.
Go off, queen.
Go on.
I changed my mind. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
What are we talking about? I wasn't paying attention.
Like a
Kendall here really wants gun control.
Absolutely.
gun control is good. If we could, we take all the guns out of the hands of anybody that works for the government, we'd be in good shape.
I totally agree.
We'd be in a great shape.
I thought you just wanted the government to be abolished.
Yeah, the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing. I mean, but most of it, we could probably do away
Which
with.
part should stay?
I can't think any good ones at this point.
You don't think the road department or anything?
Yeah,
like
the
that?
road department's all right, but you know, if
Is it just because you have family that works for it or something?
I got all-terrain tires, so I guess if we get rid of it, whatever. I'll make do.
The road people don't really do their job anyway, though. Not around here anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially like in Marionville.
Don't they just hire private contractors like Branco to come work on stuff? instead?
Sometimes.
They're terrible.
So why is there even a road department? They can just pay a private company to do it.
Somebody's got to go around and paint the guardrails that are damaged and say, damaged guardrail ahead. Don't hit that. Like, if you're going to wreck, don't wreck here. Because
If you're going to wreck,
You're going
you're going
off.
off.
All fucked up and it's like pink spray paint on it. I saw them on
somebody's got to do
65
that.
today.
So.
I saw a guy in the middle of the road. He was taking pictures of the wire that's in the middle. It was knocked down, and he was just taking pictures of it. And I knew that is his job, probably to drive around all day. It probably would have taken him 20 minutes just hang it back up, but no, he had to drive around all day and take pictures
So
of all of it.
do a budget plan for that job or something that takes a month.
Yeah, it'll take him a month. We'll pay him $7,000 to come up with a budget plan. He could have fixed it in about 20 minutes.
Right? Was that on James River?
No, it was on the interstate. I think.
Like 4 people died. Dude, something just like
morning. Yeah, a guy from Republic. Yeah,
James River in the last couple weeks, rolled over really bad wrecks.
three people. Died Friday morning or Saturday morning or something.
Yeah. I think they said they were from Texas, and he was a Republic guy.
I'm not sure. I didn't read much into it. I just heard that it had happened.
Like by the Midwest place, or where?
I think it was by the.
Well, it would have been on James River.
Just somewhere in James.
Oh, on James River. I think between the interstate.
It was between Republic and. I think it was around Battlefield. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, Kendall, if you could live anywhere in the world, where's it going to be? Right here in the US of A, right?
Yeah, well, Halltown's pretty nice this time of year. I'm not gonna lie. But
one of those.
If I was gonna move, I'd move to the beach, no doubt.
Which one?
I don't know. Probably Key West, somewhere with shallow water and
somewhere you've already been.
Relatively calm water. Yeah, somewhere. How do I know? If I pick somewhere I hadn't been before, how do I know that place isn't shit?
They got hurricanes there in Key West, though.
Yeah, they have hurricanes. Yeah, but the island of Key West hasn't been hit directly by a hurricane. They got hit this year, didn't they?
I don't know.
But other than that, they hadn't been hit like that for 40 years or something.
Hawaii doesn't have hurricanes.
Okay, well, I've never been to Hawaii. I don't know.
Yeah,
somewhere where I can.
It's a magical place.
Somewhere where I can ride jet skis and shoot guns and evade my taxes.
Well, Hawaii, basically, they always want to be like their own country again, so that might happen.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
That's probably because we just went in there and took it.
As long as they don't want as long as they don't want to be their own communist country, I think I could make it work.
I think that I don't know if it's communist. I don't really know the logistics of their politics. The Kingdom of Hawaii.
Yeah.
I bet that
is Japan communist?
I don't think so.
Actually, what we're talking about what communism is.
Not really.
About. I definitely
don't know a damn
thing
take my
about
word for it. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Japanese people.
They got some interesting snacks. You know,
I like sushi.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Interesting snacks. Like what?
They got like the ramen noodle flavored Lay's and shit like that.
They got those,
really?
And they're like a stick with chocolate on it. What is that?
In Asia,
I think that's called Pocky.
The jumbo Skittles and all these countries have these really cool snacks. So we're just like,
yeah.
We got Starburst and shit. They got all these crazy.
That's probably not even American.
But I like Starburst.
How do you think they actually make them so juicy?
What?
Well, you see the commercial. They milk a giraffe or something. I think.
Milk a juicy drop tree or something like that.
I don't know. I've seen it where they fly a little fighter jet in and shoot them with the juice or something.
Yeah.
Kendall, Cody thinks that when he buys a plane, you will be his pilot.
And I've told him I'm willing to fly it. I'm just not going to go finish my pilot's license. Flying a plane is easy. I'll do it for
you. What about a jet?
Problem.
Like a jet?
I think I can figure it out.
Do you have?
See, that's how I feel about a plane.
I went to school for it, but I got 40-something hours of fly time. And
really?
Yeah.
Matt's really bad about that. I've never said that. I said you could fly it with me. I never said he's going to be my pilot.
Pretty sure you said
co-pilot.
Yeah.
See?
Is there a rule? Do they have to have co-pilots? Like on big airlines?
I don't know. Yes, I think so. But
is that like a legal requirement, or just
I think it's a legal requirement?
Oh.
Since there was something that happened, a guy fell asleep, and maybe the one. There's a movie about it where he landed the plane in the Michigan River or something.
The Hudson River,
or, yeah, whatever.
Sully with
is that
Tom
in
Hanks?
Michigan? Yeah.
No, it's not in Michigan. It's in New York.
Well, whatever. I think after that is when they made it to where you have to have
mandatory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it just makes sense.
There's two guys,
especially on something like that.
He didn't fall asleep. He hit a bird, and the engine went out.
Oh, well then I am completely wrong. I would say.
Don't take Kendall's word for it either.
Yeah. Yes. Do not take my word for it.
Yeah, that's the name of the podcast. In case you were wondering.
I know.
I used to work for Delta Airlines. I forgot about that.
Like a flight attendant, or what was she?
Yeah, she was.
Okay, that's really bad for the audio listeners. Again, it's so easy to get distracted by that.
What's an insult that you have received that you're proud of?
Proud of?
I don't know.
I get haters.
I get called an asshole about every other day. And
by who? People you're repoing shids from?
Yeah, and my mom and stuff. And I take that as a compliment.
Oh, why?
Well.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well,
Austin, what about you?
Oh, I just, I love hate. It's funny. I'm built different though. I'm built
different.
I'm missing some chromosomes and stuff. And,
okay.
It's funny to me.
Is that why you had to take all those special classes in high school?
No, that's why I didn't go to classes.
You said you didn't go to Republic. Where'd you go? Billings?
I went to Republic and I left. It would have been because we all went to middle school together.
Not me.
I thought I remembered you being at high school, like the freshman year or something.
I went, so I like snuck into the high school for a couple dances, but I never actually went to school there. I've been in the high school several times. I used to sneak in all the time, but now they got like armed security at the door and everything.
They got locks and gates.
Yeah,
and
when they first built that thing, we'd go in there all the time when they were doing like prom and stuff like that. And
They got gates to go in the high school now, like in the
just like around the ag building,
doors and
the
stuff.
ag building
yeah,
and
that
stuff. And then,
sucks.
the doors you got to go through like double
say
doors.
that.
How dare they
and
protect
there's
our
another set of
children,
doors.
Well, I remember it was so handy whenever you were going to ag class, you could like escape to wherever you wanted to
I know,
go.
like everybody that like we're friends with, they're like, oh, we'd go to ag and just walk outside, get in our car, and I think they built a fence
would.
now.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
that goes there now
You can-
is like,
You can still go
Broomstick?
to garages though. Yeah,
Broomstick,
There's
you
a
can hit the
button you
button.
push to let you in it, and if we had a broomstick that would like lean up against right there, and you could
And
just
you could open the
stick
gate.
it through there, push the button, and come right in.
oh man, that's awesome.
I had that class first hour, so
See,
I
it's probably
used
a
to
good
just
thing I didn't
get there
go, 'cause
super
I'd-
late.
Oh, nice.
None of that existed when I was in high school.
Yeah,
The
I
gate.
didn't go to high school.
There was
so-
no fence or anything.
It was really a pain because we used to always have to carry stuff from the ag building into like the lunchroom or something, and that gate you'd have to
yeah, you'd have to carry
hold it
it.
I
open
remember
with
talking
something,
about
and then it
building
would
that. I
lock
think they
it.
built it like the summer after I graduated or something.
Why didn't they have the ag class build that? Because they wanted it to
they
look good.
because they work for the government.
Well, you'd think the government. Fuck! I just broke
Oh.
my pen. You got
I was
another
gonna
pen?
get ink all over my boots and stuff now. Oh, now there's really ink everywhere.
Sorry, I just let it go on the floor.
Do you guys remember when that like plane almost crashed into the side of the high school?
Yeah.
It hit the football field, didn't it? They hit the.
I thought it was. And they were like, I don't know what the backstory on that was, but I'm pretty sure it was like a complete accident. But
Yeah.
at first they took it as like a terrorist act or something.
Yeah, it just went through the fence or something, didn't
Yeah,
it?
we were talking about that the other day.
Yeah,
was a-
I totally forgot about
It
it
was a
until
little
he mentioned
Cessna
it.
or something.
Single engine,
Yeah.
something, single pilot.
And then, what was his name? Was it Hans Ladd that did the bomb threat at the school?
Yes, I
Yeah,
think he's
yeah.
still on. Okay, we were talking about him. I think yesterday. So I guess he went into prison for all that, and he was in prison, got out, and I guess he's like in prison for a long time now for something. I don't know.
I remember I had the gooseneck trailer on for the ag building because we were getting ready to do like a fish fry or something. And I had a whole bunch of hay bales in it, and they were like going to cut them all open and see if the bomb was in there or whatever.
Really?
And
Yeah,
I
thankfully they
remember
didn't,
them saying
but-
he did that to like get his friend out of school early because he wanted to go do something. And
Hoodlum shit?
yeah,
Yeah.
and we got out. We left. It was last hour of the day, maybe 5 minutes early. We left.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That never happened when I was in school either.
That's because you're old.
Billings. See, when I went to Billings, we got a bomb threat, and it ended up. I don't remember his name, but Billings got a bomb threat one day, and a couple days later, come to find out, they try to say that my cousin, the guy that made the threat, Nick, they try to say that Nick held a knife to this kid's throat or something and made him say there was a bomb in the school or whatever. And so like Nick got interrogated and like almost got arrested for no reason because this kid was just trying to like get the heat off of himself and just ended up blaming it on Nick. And I was like, what? But
Dang.
I don't even think he didn't even get in trouble for that.
I don't think Billings really has to worry too much about being a main target for
But they did. And
for a
That's
terrorist
what they
attack.
want you to think.
There's probably like 50 kids in that school.
But they moved us over to a church in the basement and everything, and but then that's why they have a sheriff there now all the time. They have a Green County or a Christian County.
That's a pretty good idea, I think. Having a
What?
cop at a school.
Yeah, Republic's got like a whole task force now.
Except for they're
Got
all
SWAT
old
team
people.
up at
What?
front.
There was just one. There was actually two. There was the one.
But there's
Sure,
one.
and
There's
there's
like
an
5
old
or how many schools are there? 6 or 7 schools. So now there's one at every school
I think
at the
there's
door.
a couple at the high school now because I know the last time I had to go up there, I had to go through like a couple sets of doors and like they checked me and everything. And,
Yeah.
But I've heard it's like crazy now that they're like armed and everything.
I've seen schools that have like metal detectors and stuff now that you have to walk through.
Yeah, like inner city schools and stuff where
That
they
and
have,
like you have to have clear backpacks and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't think you get. Yeah, you don't get that around here, but like I would say
in
Chicago or something.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Somewhere like that. Yeah.
Yikes. Clear backpacks.
Clear yak yaks.
But if you bring a clear gun, you get in.
Plastic water gun.
Yeah.
Kendall, do you think there's a future for 3D printed guns?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I'm sure there's.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on Twitter looking at 3D printed guns, and those guys, they're doing good work.
Very
They-
Good word.
Yeah,
You can shoot them. I mean,
yeah, they've got. I mean, I follow a guy, and he's got a lot of files for like an MP5 type gun, and he's. I mean, obviously they have metal internals, but the main part of the gun, he is 3D printing, and it functions. I saw one this week. He had put 700 rounds through it before he finally had some sort of malfunction. So
They have 3D printers that print metal. I mean, I imagine it's just not
they're
as readily available to the public.
Well, they don't necessarily print metal, but they have desktop CNC machines where you can put like a block of metal in there, and it'll. But they're expensive.
no, I've seen them. It's not, what do they call it? It's additive manufacturing, not subtract
Like JB
It's
Weld?
not milling. It's actually like I saw them make like a really complicated exhaust out of it for like a race car engine. And it's they use like lasers or something to like weld the little particles of metal together.
Yeah.
Well, they have that on the International Space Station now, don't they?
Yeah, they have 3D
that's
printers
awesome.
where they build little tools and parts.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff
got to be
like
super
that.
handy.
A lot of Navy ships have stuff like that on it nowadays too.
But if you think about it, I mean, a flare gun that shoots a 12 gauge shell. You can shoot a 12 gauge shell on a flare gun. What's the difference between a flare gun? It's just like the same material as getting 3D.
You mean the entire thing's plastic?
I don't know.
It's like a fiberglass material.
Oh,
And I've seen people.
that makes that a lot cooler.
But you can put a regular 12 gauge shell into a flare gun and shoot it.
I've never shot a flare gun.
I can't imagine that's good for that many shots. But
No,
even if it'll do it once.
But I shoot like you can go to Walmart, buy the flares. I shoot them through my shotgun sometimes. just light a big bonfire or whatever.
So
It's just a 12 gauge round.
He said you start good bonfires.
That guy knows what he's talking about.
When I was in pilot school, we went to the airport in Branson, and they had looked like a flare gun, but it shot like a 410 shell, and it was they called it hazing, but it was just to get rid of birds and stuff, and like animals
like
that were out on the runway.
You just shoot.
It's just like a blank.
It was just it's just loud.
This is a guy killing deer on the runway.
Well, no, he said that him and the
sign
guys
up for that
they
job?
hunt out there. He was like
the airport?
Yeah, he said he's like there's deer out here. So not like obviously
He's like,
not
bring
on the airport, but he's like the area around the airport is owned by
Where nobody builds
whoever.
anything.
He's like,
And
sneaking
the
on
employees would
crossbows.
go out there. They bow hunt. Yeah, I think mainly bow hunt. I don't think they go.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to use it.
I don't think they gun hunt out there. Yeah.
That'd be too dangerous. I'd be pissed getting on a plane and get stuck with a crossbow or something.
Yeah.
We're going to take off. And
I'm always playing golf out there by the airport, and I think, man, those guys are pretty low. I think if I got a good shot, I might be able to get them.
I don't understand how people get good at golf. I've been to the driving range a couple times, and I just can't even hit the ball like confidently.
Well, I've been playing golf my whole life, and I'm not that good. So it just takes playing every day.
I mean,
or
people shooting
you gotta
like
be natural.
400 yards. Like, that's a long fucking way.
Yeah, nobody is hitting it 400. I mean, yeah, like the long drive competitions, but that's not like you can't do that in a regular round.
No, suit yourself.
If you can hit it like 250, 275, that's a good standard good drive.
That's a ways to hit a golf ball.
Yeah, if you really think about it, that's a lot. Some people can't even like hit anything with a rifle that far.
Yep.
You're just hitting a ball that far casually.
And again, I'm
That's
bad
a
at
long-
judging distance. Like, it's hard for me to look around and
Okay,
tell how many. Like, how far up the corner of the fence over there?
That? That's probably 25 yards, 30 yards.
I'm
about
better
the
at it
pond?
on the golf course though.
The
Like
pond?
telling how far I am from the green, I could tell you, but like if we're just in a field and there's a tree out there, I'd have a hard time for whatever reason. I don't know.
I can tell like
Why?
something vertically. I'm 6 feet tall. And I like think of me on top of myself.
1.5 of me could stand there.
You're like, that's 132 and a half foot tall.
Or I,
Everybody's like, what? How do you know that?
Or I imagine myself laying on the floor to see how long a room is.
I can see that. I can see that.
How accurate you think you are with that?
Not very. But the Navy uses that. A fathom is 6 feet, and they use that for depth all the time, and it's really weird.
Like
If you
tie
picked a
brick to my
spot,
ankle and I sink down, how many feet is that?
Yeah.
6 feet at a time.
What did you say, Kendall?
Like if you picked a spot on the wall and then laid down, you think you'd get it. How close do you think you'd get?
Yeah, I bet that vent is about 6 feet from the wall. I bet the end of that
Like
vent.
this end of it?
The wall.
From that
end.
wall?
Yep. I bet
No
the-
way.
No, it's
I
gotta
bet
be,
my head would touch this
that's got to
end.
be 8 foot 4 inches.
Am I about to go lay down on the floor and see it?
Dude, yeah, I just cut a bunch of wood over there, so there's probably a bunch of
my head
sawdust still
will
on the floor.
touch that side of the vent.
From
On the wall side of the vent? Oh, no way.
damn!
Oh,
Shit.
That was like two.
that was perfect. I was thinking this side of the vent.
You did that before.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like,
This is
nobody
set
was in
up.
here one day, and you're like, I'm just gonna lay down and see.
He's like, Matt, why are you laying on the floor? He's like, I'm measuring everything out.
You'll understand.
He's been practicing.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm
No,
good.
that was like perfect. Yeah. That was the tip of your head.
That was-
literally.
Was your hat like shoved up? Did you cheat?
No.
Oh,
that was perfect.
like,
This is one of those like, fits tight to your head hats.
yeah, I can't.
That's a Mennonite hat.
I bought it at Walmart. It was for my Halloween costume. I was a cop for Halloween.
We were talking about that.
So it's not the only time of year you can't get arrested for impersonating a police
We were
officer.
in Nashville too.
I was thinking
and
about
there's
that the
some
other day.
cops there, and I was like,
It's the only time of year you can get drunk and carry a gun.
I didn't have a gun because I didn't want them to be like take it from me or something. I didn't have a fake gun. I
mean,
had a
legally.
baton though, and a whistle.
Didn't somebody say something whenever you were going to the club or like a bar or something? They were like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was making sure that wasn't
Somebody
real.
said that I couldn't come in with the baton, and I was like, "You feel it? This thing, it's like plastic. You can't do anything." And then he let me in.
Wow.
That's an exciting story, guys.
I don't need somebody to beat me up with a plastic baton either. I don't.
Well, it was like not even as hard as this pin. Like you couldn't even do anything with it.
Can you get us an Amish guy on here?
Yeah, if you get rid of all the cameras.
I've been wanting to.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or a Mennonite guy. You still is deal with. I'll bleep that name. But
I don't know what he's doing nowadays. He's out of the company, so it's kind of hard to say.
But Lester, you don't think Lester would come on? Even with
Lester-
the cameras? I don't know if
No,
he'd
I don't. I don't think he would do it with the cameras. They don't like to be
Really?
recorded.
Yeah, no, I
it's-
can't do the
they
recording
can't be
thing.
recorded.
Because I follow a guy on TikTok that is like, my chair's going down again. But there was like ex-Amish, and he like goes to see his mom or whatever, and
I've seen this
He like
guy.
tries to sneak videos of her, but he can't because she'll like won't let him come see him anymore.
I met an ex-Amish guy the other day. I got his phone number at Philly's there in Miller. So he may come on and tell you about the Amish community.
He's got to dress Amish, though.
was-
He's got to play the part.
Yeah, I don't know. He was driving a Dodge and wearing pretty much the same outfit. But I've seen him,
Mike
so
down with the freaking chair.
I don't know.
Kendall, tell the people what you do for a living.
I haul portable buildings.
Makes
so.
it sound more glamorous though, like it's a resume.
Oh, okay. I haul sheds. No, I
need one.
I work for a company that builds buildings. I own my portion of the company, but I haul all the buildings they make to lots and to customers and set them up for them. So,
You like it?
oh no, I do not like it.
Why do you do it?
Well, because I've got a bunch of equipment and money in it now, and so it's a little hard to get
like, I got
quit
When did you decide you didn't like it?
about the third day,
And when did you buy all this equipment?
the first day.
Oh.
No, I don't hate it, and it's good money, but it's there's a lot of liability, a lot of money in insurance, and it's seems like really good money until you actually start paying your bills. And like in the
how
last
every business is.
20 days, I bought like $3,800 in fuel, and so it all adds up. And
You
it's
said it was just in how many days?
like the last 20 days or so.
That's still
His
insane.
his truck, it's like 2 tanks a day.
Yeah, it's got a 53-gallon
Yeah.
tank, and I put diesel in it every day.
Wow.
And then you got the trailer's got a motor on it, so it's got fuel.
You're gonna get a Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Haul with it?
If it would make a whole day's trip, then yes, I would
They
absolutely.
said they can go 500 miles on.
Can they put a flatbed on that thing?
It's,
Probably. I mean,
I mean, I can't see why they
It's got
wouldn't.
an 8-foot bed, and it's got like electronics and shit in the bed.
Yeah, they say they got a crazy amount of torque. So
Could they pull though? Like,
Oh, they can
what's
pull.
the weight limit?
Yeah,
on
that's
battery?
what
They pull
Yeah.
better than a diesel. It's just who
For a
knows,
short time,
Yeah, who
yeah.
knows how long the battery lasts at that?
Yeah,
They say
'cause, like,
500
wouldn't-
miles just like normal driving.
yeah, I saw like with those F-150 Lightnings, they hooked one of those up to a trailer, and the range went to like 40 miles to empty.
Yeah,
and it
they're
was
saying
full
it's like-
battery.
Son of a bitch,
you're-
didn't it?
It's like the same. Yeah, I mean, like, it drained the battery.
Yeah.
I feel like it would drain the battery so fast being that much weight on a battery.
They're getting there, though.
I love having a diesel truck, but if it was feasible to have an electric car and use it for work, I would do it because it's just cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
There's a lot less, especially there's less to maintain on them. You know, they're so simple.
It could be, like, less convenient, though.
Austin, will you charge your phone one of these days?
iPhone always has a different.
Last one we filmed, his was
Doing this the whole time.
Every time I come over here. Well, because it's always, like, on, it's always on, like, 50% when I come over here. Because I don't ever plan to go live.
I can... Here, let me switch this over real quick.
Here, do the...
Tell them to send you money.
Yeah, someone sent me, like, $100 for some beer money or something, you know?
Oh. My truck payment comes out on Friday. I could use about all of it.
Yeah. I'll take whatever you'll give me.
Kendall, what's your favorite childhood memory?
Well, since I've been about 16, I've been getting drunk and doing drugs, so I don't have very many childhood memories anymore.
I was wondering where you were going with that. Okay.
Since I was a wee lad.
Yeah. Since about the summer after my sophomore year, I quit being a very good kid, and then...
Why do you think that is? Let's get deep.
It was a lot of fun, that's for sure. I mean, it was fun.
Did you have role models that encouraged you to be like that? Maybe your older brother?
I mean, yeah, it was, I turned 16, my brother was 21, so yes, he could buy me beer, but I think more or less it was just me and my buddies were country kids, and that's what country kids did, that's...
Drink at 16?
We started drinking beer. And
Ooh, favorite party memory is someone else.
That's a good question.
I remember Kendall one time, actually, I think you were drinking Fireball. I remember seeing you outside. I don't know if this should be on the podcast. I just remember seeing you hunched over puking your guts out.
Yeah.
I'll
tell the story of that entire day because it was hilarious.
We might end
That was pretty good.
Me and one of my buddies, we were hauling hay. We're going to haul hay, and we had fake IDs at that point, so nobody was buying us that beer. But we...
he doesn't now.
No, I'm 21 now, so it's fine. We were headed to haul hay, and we stopped at Hood's, and we bought some of those, like, Mike's Harder drinks. And at that point, we were drinking beer mostly, so we didn't really think that we were going to get that fucked up off of just those. And so we drink those, and we start hauling hay, and we are pretty drunk, we realize. We're out in the middle of nowhere, Lockwood, so it's not like we were, like, driving down I-44 with a load of hay. And we are hauling off the runway of the airport in Miller. And we're out there hauling hay.
On purpose or on accident?
I think that's what it's supposed to be. And people are parachuting down onto the runway.
No way.
Yeah, because you can parachute out there. It wasn't like anything crazy. But we were drunk and we were like, what on earth is going on?
It's coming.
And and then we pulled in we took that load of hay, and we come back. Then we got out there, and I got out and got in the tractor, and I looked at the truck, and our hay trailer was gone. We had a 2-inch ball, and the trailer was a 2 7/8 or whatever it is, whatever the next size up is. And we pulled in and hit a mud hole, and it bounced off, so we had to go pick that up. But then after that, after our last load, we headed home, and I had drank some Fireball, I believe, but mostly it was because I was already drunk and I was drinking Budweisers.
Ooh, that's the problem right there.
Then by the time we got to the party that we were actually trying to drink for, I was pretty well
done,
worthless. I just sat in a chair and threw up outside just about all night.
And I remember because Trace kicked everybody out of there. It's like everybody starts drinking, and then he's like, all right, go home.
Yeah, that was Trace's favorite thing to do. Everybody get drunk at my house. Everybody can't walk out. All right, you need to go home now.
Like, what the hell?
And puking, he's like, get the fuck out right now.
Nobody is capable of driving home, and then we all have to.
Yeah, I think that was the same night there. Well, there's
And now that I live a quarter mile from his house, there is no parties there, so...
That's because everybody's old.
You can walk home now.
Yeah, now I can walk home. I can walk through the field back to my house.
Someone asked, one drink you'll never drink again. I got it.
Water.
Jaeger. Jaeger.
Oh, I like a Jaeger bomb.
I used to love Jaeger. Just straight, though. And I just... I like the taste of it, but man, I drink too much of it. I can do a Jaeger bomb. I like a good Jaeger bomb every now and then, though. But just a shot of Jaeger or something like that.
Well, that was like Nate's favorite stuff to drink.
Yes,
wasn't it?
That's why I had too much of it because he would always buy like gallons of it.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
For me, it's Southern Comfort. Yeah, probably Southern Comfort because I didn't like beer for a long time. So I drank a lot of Southern Comfort, and I got too sick too many times, and now every time I smell it, I just
Southern Comfort. Oh, I love Southern Comfort.
You have a gross look on your face though when you're saying that. You're like,
you're making it look like you've thrown it up more times than you can count. But man, I love that shit.
What started that is because I always like whiskey and stuff. I like beer, but I like getting
You like to drink?
Good and liquored up.
You drink?
Yeah.
See, I used to be like that, but now I'm the opposite. I don't get hungover if I just drink beer, so I just drink beer. Nothing sweet, nothing with sugar, just beer, and I can drink all night, and I can get as drunk as I want, and I don't have to be sick the next day.
Sounds like you got it down.
The thing about SoCo is like that's one whiskey you can take to a party, and no one's gonna try to steal it. Ain't nobody gonna be like, "Hey, man, that's some good shit. I'm gonna steal that from that guy." Nobody wants to drink it.
It was that and American Honey when I was.
Oh, I can't do American Honey.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, I take the Jaeger thing back. American Honey is not it at all. I cannot do, and it's not even that. I just have never liked American Honey. It's not that I have like a bad experience or anything. It's just I don't know. It's just awful. It makes you want to vomit.
I'm going to pivot to a little bit more serious topic here.
All right, let me pull my chair back up. Then mess with it again.
Kendall, what is your...
Look at that.
You were about on the floor there. I'm going to have to weld a back on this thing or something.
You need to get chairs.
Yeah.
The suspension's clapped out on this. Look at that. The microphone can come back up a foot now. Anyway.
Kendall, what's your biggest failure? And how did you learn from it, if at all?
I don't know. I've been pretty lucky in life. I've never failed.
You got banned?
Yeah.
For what?
Hateful behavior.
What
Our live TikTok just got
what was hateful?
banned here.
We just got banned.
I don't know.
I'll appeal it.
I don't know.
I don't even know what we were talking about. That was hateful.
Going to college was probably like my biggest failure as far as that goes. Just because I went to college, but I did it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, and I went for 6 months, and I hated it the whole time. I didn't see any job that I could get going to college that wasn't just me sitting in an office, and I never wanted that. I can't sit inside. I don't like being inside. And so I went to college. It cost me a lot of money, and I failed, and it sucks, but now I have a better idea of, I'm out there and I'm working, and I do it or I starve. So I have definitely learned from that how to go out and do stuff for myself, make money.
Your biggest mistake is getting an education.
Yes, absolutely. I'm educated enough. Just YouTube. You can educate yourself on YouTube. You don't need to go to college.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan and the like.
Except for what you were trying to do. You were going to fly a plane. I don't think you can watch a YouTube video and go fly planes.
No, he's lying. You can learn to fly a plane on YouTube. You get Flight Simulator online. It's the same thing. It's easy. I'm telling you.
Just not
landing.
Well, landing's pretty easy too. You
better go to college.
You're going to do it regardless at some point. So,
Dude, it just depends on how soft it's going to be.
It's all about confidence. If you can just go in there confident and act like you know what you're doing, you'll probably be fine.
Anybody will let you in the plane and just take off.
Well, I went to pilot school. I'd never been in I'd been in a commercial plane, but I'd never been in a plane like in the front seat, And as soon as I got in there to go to school, the first day they let me fly the plane. So that is cool.
Yeah, I was going to say during flight school, they're like, okay, fly.
Yeah. He took off and he landed that day, but
like when he
took me up in the air and he was like, do what you want.
I bet I could do that.
Yeah.
See, they
do what you want.
I drove past I flew past my parents' house and my grandparents' house, and I called my grandma while I was up there, and I was like, hey, I'm about to fly by. Why don't you come outside? And so that was cool.
I've always wanted a helicopter, but they say that the helicopter is like one of the hardest things to learn to fly.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a lot
they have
harder.
the joystick and
and it twists for the rear one and everything. Yeah, it's hard.
Like this thing.
Yeah.
And they sit I've watched some videos on the pilot school for helicopters, and they have a piece of plywood with a marble on it, and they have that joystick with all the weird gears and everything on it, and you have to move that joystick and keep that marble perfectly still in the middle of that. Like that's how you practice. And when you keep that marble still in the middle of that plywood, that's you hovering a helicopter in one spot. And like, you know how long that would have to, like, that's insane, because you move the joystick and it's like, you know, it's just completely off from what your hand actually does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always wanted a helicopter.
I'd just drill a little hole in the middle of that plywood where that marble would sit nice and centered in there.
Right.
This is easy.
Give me the keys to this thing.
Is it a different license to fly a helicopter? Versus
Absolutely.
It's a different. Yeah, you have to get like endorsements for everything when you're
just like
becoming
CDL.
a pilot. So yeah, it's the same as that.
So you probably wouldn't get the licenses, would you?
No, yeah,
just like your normal everyday.
Yeah, and that's half the reason. Like my dad was always like, "Oh, why don't you just go get your pilot's license?" Because I could go get it right now, but it expires after like a year or two, and you have to go retest. And I don't have a plane, and renting a plane's expensive, way more expensive than just taking a commercial flight. So I just never saw the need to, like, and it's like $800, so I didn't want to. And I was starting a business when he was trying to get me to do this, so I was like, I don't have $800 to go do anything. Yeah,
Cody decided to upend everything.
Well, I guess, and before that, I didn't have any money when I worked for Cody either. I've never had any money because I spend it all on stuff I want.
Same.
Guns and
Gotta live a
trucks.
little.
Kendall, I think the ATF will watch this podcast. How many guns do you have?
4. I've got 4. Actually, I lost 3 of them in a boating accident. So now I just have one gun. It's a bolt action single shot 22. I keep it at my parents' house. I don't have it, so
Same. Yeah. Oh wait, legally, I can't.
Austin has 0. Never has seen one.
Yeah,
he gave up my parents all his guns too. So
Yep.
yeah.
I don't even
Your
know.
parents, though.
I don't know how to operate a firearm.
What's the future of Kendall Hamilton look like? What do you see
Like
yourself in
the
10
future
years?
guns I'm gonna buy?
No.
Good. I can talk about that. 'Cause,
Pivoting away from guns for a second. What's your future look like?
well, I guess I have no idea, no earthly idea.
5
But
years.
if what I want it to look
Yeah.
like, for sure.
It should be the same thing, right?
I still want to own a business. I want to get out of something where I carry a lot of liability and can make money more. What's the word you're using all the time?
Passively.
Passively. I want to make passive money where I don't have to be at work every day. Actually out there doing stuff to make money. I want to have a business that can run itself. And
Boy, do I have a proposition for you. Would you like to become our first investor of Teton Media LLC?
what's the price of investing?
We can discuss that later.
$50,000. We'll put a 30-second ad in here.
This is like it's like Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I will give you.
You get 5% for $100,000.
Oh yeah. So that values your company at $500,000.
Yeah, I always have trouble doing this math.
That would
20.
be at, what is that, 50
million.
million?
20 million.
I don't
million.
know. I can't do that.
5% will go into 100 how many times? 5 will go into
20
20 times, so 20 million.
Me and Cody
means
drive
two
around
buys
all
at
day and argue about
$100,000.
math.
Yeah, but for 100,000,
100,000 is 5%. So what's 100,000 times 20?
20 million.
2 million.
2 million. Yeah, you're right. So
Now-
it's $2 million.
okay.
I don't know how I got $500,000, but 2 million is definitely the right answer.
Math.
I always watch Shark Tank.
But don't take my word for it.
I always,
Like that.
I always see Shark Tank, and Kevin O'Leary, he's like,
They do that
on
math
that.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it may be edited too. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're doing that math every day.
Yeah.
TV, it's not live.
Well, I saw one the other day, and the guy says it, and they all immediately started laughing because they said they valued his company at like $50 million, and
Yeah.
none of them believed
It was like
or
some
something.
chicken place or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So?
So what is that company going to be?
No.
Or what?
No.
He's been talking about opening a gun range.
yeah, no, I don't have $100,000 for anything, so no.
We can work out a payment plan with interest.
Okay, I'll give you. I got $20 on me, and
For that
I
you
want
can get-
1%.
No.
What would that values us at? What?
20 times 20.
$200?
No.
No, it wouldn't. It'd
That's $400.
be times 100, wouldn't it?
No.
2,000.
Oh, for 1%?
$20 with
Yeah.
1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, $200.
I don't know. We need a whiteboard or a Jamie. So
A
Figure it out.
calculator right here. Anyways,
Yes.
so what's the future of Kendall Hamilton in 5 years?
but you already asked me that.
You just asked the question.
No. Be realistic. What are you going to do?
Specifically,
You have
ideally,
to have a goal.
I think I could open a gun range in this area. And there is a couple of ranges around here, but one of them's like the Shooters Club, and it's exclusive. You have to get referred to be a member, and the other one's Andy Dalton, which is
I've ever been to.
That's a public range, which it's nice and it's cheap and it's handy, but like the farthest you can shoot on the range is 100 yards, I think, and
that's like a long.
Yeah, so I think in this area, if you had somewhere where you could shoot, 1,000 yards is probably a lofty goal, but even 500 yards
that'd be cool.
Would be. I think you'd get a lot of people to come in and sell guns and ammo and.
Okay, but you said you wanted to make it passive, so how are we going to make this passive?
Yeah, I'm going to make it passive by hiring people to do all this stuff for me.
That's how you find out you're going to be in the same predicament is you won't make any money.
Yeah, well, maybe.
How much do you want to charge to go to a shooting range?
I think.
How much would you charge at a shooting range, or how much would you want to pay to go shoot at 1,000 yards shooting range?
Well, I don't shoot 1,000 yards very often because it's hard to find somewhere that you can shoot like that. So I wouldn't.
That's value.
I think I would be willing to pay more money for that, and I think that you're going to get people that are more serious shooters. So if you charge them a $20 a month fee, I think that a lot of people would be interested in being out there and shooting, especially around deer season and stuff like that. And I think part of that would be you need to have skeet and trap and stuff, just because people like doing that, and you could have leagues and make it sort of a community where people are, they want to be there and they want to
brand building.
Yeah.
And we talked about the other day, he was like going to do a membership deal, and that's like, that's not a bad idea.
I definitely agree with you. 1,000. I know so many people with like guns or like just all over around here that shoot that far. Yeah. And they don't have a place to shoot it. And if you're buying a gun that shoots 1,000 yards, you're going to have plenty of money to pay 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks a month or whatever to go blast some rounds out.
When you have a couple thousand just in your scope, you're going to be
exactly.
You're willing to pay to shoot it.
Minimum in your scope, you're going to have probably a couple grand and just a scope.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a really good idea, honestly.
So that is my pipe dream right now, as far as what I want to do.
I don't think that's
how I'm going to make it. Yeah, how I'm going to make it happen, I haven't figured out yet. I need to quit the job I'm currently doing so I have to start working on that. But
Cody convinced me one time to burn the boats.
I've convinced you like 4 or 5 times now.
and Matt, quitting for me will be like telling them, hey, I'm going to quit working. I'm going to quit doing the loads you guys send me in 2 months. Not, hey, guy I weld for, eat shit. I'm going home.
Cody told me that when I was in high school, or when I was like 18 too. I quit Little Caesars so that
you could go to the FFA bonfire that night.
No, that wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
Do you think you were going to take my sister home? Is that what you thought?
No.
He's like,
I got news for you, Matt. You're not even that funny.
No. Have you ever told her about that? Like, did she remember that she said that about that?
Yes, I tried to talk to her about it one time. She was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So, one time his sister was... Kendall's sister, he was like, why do you even hang out with Matt? He's not that funny. I'm like,
what does that have to do with it?
I don't know. I thought that was funny, though.
That's funny, but that's so irrelevant. It's like, you're not funny, I can't hang out with you. What does that have to do with anything?
I still think about that every night.
Does that haunt you?
That's going to be the first line of your book when you're a billionaire. You're going to be, I'm not even that funny, but look what I can
do. That's the name of the book. I'm not even that funny.
Yeah.
But don't take my word for it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I can't believe it, out of nowhere, Ryan Cameron sent me a message.
What do you want?
He just slid up on my story and he said, wow. I was like...
What was on your story?
It was I think it was the Grandma Ashes thing. And
I saw.
I was like, how's the boat? He said, good, he's going fishing today. And I was like, yeah, I figured doing it. He goes fishing a lot, seems like.
I figured they bought the boat, now they don't want to pay to put gas in it.
Yeah. Wait till next year to put gas in it.
Yeah.
I never met the guy.
Right? Mm-mm. Really? He's a good
guy. My sister's husband.
Yeah. Never met him. You better check your phone on a podcast.
I'm getting a phone call.
I thought I heard something.
Go ahead, answer. Yeah. Is it going to be interesting?
It's
Gabe.
I mean, maybe.
Is it Gabe?
It is Gabe.
Oh yeah, that'd be funny.
He's probably tore up my gun or my new gun I
We
just
should
bought.
be on the podcast.
Yeah, Gabe on here. He knows some stuff.
Yeah, about horses.
Yeah,
And about dead people.
yeah, for sure.
I live right now right by the funeral home. I see us. He's got that black Dodge with the cover on. Yeah, I see it all the time.
Yep.
I
was telling Austin we should go do a video spending the night in the funeral
I got a
home.
better idea.
Well, they're convinced. Carson worked there.
That's
She's
the
convinced
cabin.
it's
That's what
haunted.
I'm talking about. We should do that cabin instead.
Or you could do the Pythian Castle.
I'll do that.
The cabin's actually scary, to be honest, because it's like myth country back in the woods.
I'll do it right now. As soon as this ends, I'll do it.
I went hiking there yesterday. I've been there a few
They got
times.
heat in there.
I was gonna talk to you about that. I was gonna be like, hey, that's a good idea. Why don't we go spend a night in that?
And
You have to reserve it?
the episode from
And
there.
it's got a wood stove and everything in there. Granted, I don't know how safe it is, but it's got a wood
It's
stove.
got a lock.
I
You
would
can
camp
bolt
in
the
there.
door shut.
About it, and we all.
Are you sure this
obviously-
isn't just some guy's house?
It's the. It
yeah.
has a tag on there that says Missouri Department of Conservation inventory number. Blah 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 blah. It's like on the.
I've got that one bolt action 22, so I can bring that.
Yeah. So if we don't like advertise it and be like, hey, we're gonna go stay at this cabin, just go do it. I don't think it would be an issue. I mean, is it pretty secluded?
Well, you can camp there, right?
Yeah, you can camp there. You can hike there.
Where's
you can
it
do
at?
It's just past Seymour, like probably 20 minutes
Oh,
past.
that's
Seymour.
out there then.
Yeah, you got to take a load of buildings while you head that way.
Yeah, it's Cedar Gap Conservation Area. That's what
yeah.
it's called. I love that place.
Do you have to reserve it?
No, nobody. I've never run it. I've never even seen another
I don't
person
think
on that
anybody-
trail. Well, one time, but
That sucks.
So
if we
is
went
it
there
like
to like
locked
shoot a
up?
video.
Can you get in?
yeah, I went in it yesterday.
you
I
walked in
made a TikTok of it and I put like creepy music to try to make it look haunted or something.
It does, like, but to me that intrigues me because I love log cabins and shit like
That would make a cool video. I'm bringing a sleeping bag this time because the car can't be close and I can't sleep in the car.
There's a
So
stove in there. There's a wood stove in there. We can.
We can bring Hank.
we gonna light a fire in this old cabin?
He comes by.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a wood stove. There's a loft, so you can
There's
put
a
your
loft.
beds up on the loft.
You saw the video, right? Hopefully.
We'd have to
Yeah.
clean it up a little bit. It's kind of gross in there. There's like graffiti on the walls.
You can take a leaf blower.
a broom. I don't know.
really move in. Oh, the rent's cheap there.
That's not too much.
You're gonna get rid of the graffiti before you stay in there.
No.
He's like just dirt on the ground.
I just think it would be kind of a cool idea.
I was gonna say that. I was like,
We should do that.
That's it right there. We should just go out there and just.
It's a little cold today, probably though.
Yeah.
I would do it today.
All right, fine. We're doing that after
I'd
this.
rather do it in the wintertime because
I'll be late tomorrow.
I've been chased by wasps on that trail more times than
Yeah, I
I
have to
could
say
count.
we're like wasps. And
I
there's
hate
a wood
wasps so
stove.
much.
I like wood stoves. I don't know why.
I hate hiking in the summertime. The snakes and the bugs.
You didn't bring
piss
your
me off.
bug assault gun.
No,
Oh, what happened to that thing?
I gave it to my stepdad.
Oh, you didn't sell it in your garage sale.
No, Grace Lightfoot actually texted me one day, asked if I still had it, and she never came to get it.
I remember that. I think we were talking because she is so scared of bugs. She's terrified of them.
Well, I just don't like fucking wasps.
Yeah, well,
It wouldn't quite kill a wasp though, unless you were
I'd kill
close.
wasps. With like in your shed, it would kill the wasp, no problem. Which I did.
That was kind of fun to mess around with
They're
while
like
I was sitting there
buzzing around the
bored.
ceiling, and other. If I didn't have them, I'm like just sitting there trying to act like I'm not scared of them or something.
I'm definitely down to go out there.
That would be cool.
We'll do it.
We're doing it after this.
Okay.
I've got it.
You want
I
to?
gotta go get fried chicken, so I can't.
Yeah.
Do you want to? I will.
I was there
down.
just
You
yesterday.
down?
Where's it at? Seymour?
Just past Seymour.
I'll go by the house.
Like
I got
by the prison?
lanterns.
What?
We don't have to worry
There's a
about our
prison in
tent
Seymour?
issue.
It's like you're in Seymour, you're on 60. Go east probably another 20 minutes. It's
Right on 60, right before you get to Seymour. There's a
it's on the
federal
other side of Seymour.
penitentiary of some. I think it's maybe a juvie. deal.
I haven't made it that far yet.
How far of a hike is it if you had like packs?
The whole it's a short ass hike. The whole hike, like it's a loop, is 1.6 miles, I think.
Oh, we did that in an hour.
The
Hour and a half.
it's to the cabin is all downhill, and that's maybe 3/4 of a mile. To
That's
the
still
cabin.
pretty far back up in there. I'm down though.
If it's been raining, which it has been, the creek will be up quite a bit.
You have to walk to the creek.
Yeah, you follow the creek and have to cross it like 5 or 6 times.
Okay, how like what's the deepest crossing?
Like yesterday, it was almost too high to cross because there was like rocks that we were like my feet were getting
Like,
a
are
little
we
wet.
talking like
No, but like up to probably yeah. I mean, so it rained yesterday and today a little bit. It'd probably be like like right here.
so muck boots would be fun.
Yeah, you can take your.
I don't have muck boots.
Do you have muck boots? I have a pair.
I've
What
got,
are we gonna
I've
do?
got,
Wear one
I've got
pair and
3
throw them over the
pair.
creek to the
I
next
got 3
guy?
pair. I
Looks
can
like
I can
Stevie,
loan
I'm on
you.
11.
I think they are 11.
He's got 3 pair. See,
You
a
got to buy
pair.
your muck boots big because you're gonna wear big socks.
We just went from a podcast to planning a whole new thing in a podcast. This is weird.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of
That's
cool
not
to
a bad
like, go
idea.
there and bring like the computer, record. An
Now you can get
episode.
haunted and have another story for your next podcast.
Now we wouldn't be able to plug anything in. So
Yeah, if we get haunted, we could always have an extra guest there.
You think we could
We'd have
drive-
like Casper sitting in the chair?
If we could drive my Ford back in there, we can plug it in.
you wouldn't
there.
make it.
Oh yeah, you can.
This sounds like a Ford commercial in the making.
There's
New
like it's. I bet I'd get creeped out there in the night. Like, I've been there.
That's why you're going. It makes you
It
confident.
says built Ford tough on the dash, so I think we can get.
This sounds like a place close enough. I wouldn't be scared anyway because I can bring something that I won't be worried about anything. So
You got silver bullets and that.
You can't shoot,
It's not like a
guys.
tent. It's an actual. It's like a log. It's
I'm
like a
not, like,
cabin
see-
that's with wind. Like
I'm not concerned about like ghosts or spirits or anything.
No.
I like,
you can't tell them that that's part of the
it
brand
is-
video.
but you know,
I'm scared
like,
to death of that shit. So.
I know, like in a moment, I say that, like you know, and I believe in that, like spirits and stuff are real, and like if something was there or whatever, I just, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it would freak me out, but I wouldn't be so scared to be like, oh my god.
Well, I don't think I believe in that stuff, but it's like whenever you're out there and it's like dead quiet, you're like, man, I got shit running through my head.
That place is 100% the place that crackheads live back in the holler over there. You have to drive down this dirt road along past some like trailer houses and stuff.
That whole area is bad.
Like from Seymour to West Plains, south of 60, everywhere I've been back in there, it's all pretty.
And what's weird is for some reason the door you can lock from the outside. There's like a bolt. There's no lock on the inside, but the lock on the outside.
It wouldn't be
We might
locking.
put some locks in it ahead of time.
How thick is the door? Can you kick it
I was
down?
gonna say that I don't want to lock my
I
big
don't think
ass
you
up
can
in
kick that
there.
door down. But
Oh, you wanna
the
bet?
window you can
If somebody's out there locking me in, I don't think I'm trying to go out there. So
The window is just made of plexiglass, so you could just bust through
Somebody
that.
tries to lock my big ass in there, they're gonna learn real quick. Dude, that
And I
shit
think
good.
the roof is like tin. You could just bust through that
Yeah, I'm
too.
gonna blast that shit with a 12 gauge.
are you down?
I'm
Not today though.
Why?
I am.
I feel like I got something I'm supposed to
I feel like I got something I gotta think of to
Do
do.
you have dinner at your girlfriend's parents' house?
dinner date. Hell, he's down. He's like, he's
not.
like, yeah, he's yes, he's
I am not going to his cabin. I want to make that clear right now. I don't believe in ghosts. I still ain't tempting it. I ain't gonna go out there to see what happens.
100%. I'm that guy.
I know Jacob would, unless he's got to work tomorrow.
Let's do it next weekend.
We got shit to do next weekend.
We're not. I know it's gonna fall through. It always does.
we got a podcast with Wilson and Diesel and President Biden next weekend.
That's the following weekend.
Are they? They're at the same
I
time.
think it's a
or-
good idea.
They're at the
but
same
I'm not
house to
down
hang
for
out,
it
I guess.
tonight.
Why?
I'll do it tonight. It'll make it
because
even
I
better
don't feel
because it's
like
like
it.
supposed to snow and stuff. Like that'd be cool.
That does not make it better. that makes it worse.
Ass like
Pussy.
whistling, wintry mix for the next like 2 days.
All right, I'll review.
You can be
some
late 'cause it
footage
sounds
you
like we're
took
not working.
Because the wood stove really depends on everything. Because if the wood stove isn't properly put together, it could.
Yeah, I don't know if it is
Potentially
or not.
be-
Right? There's just a bunch of like sticks stuck in there. Like
I don't know if I feel like burning down a historic landmark.
Last time
I've got a Milwaukee electric jacket.
All right, Jacob.
It's heated.
My mom won it in a raffle and she gave it to me. Actually,
Hey.
she let me borrow it and I kept it.
I have a buddy heater.
What's that?
That's ventilated enough to use a buddy.
What's a
heater.
buddy heater?
You know the you know the little bottles of the green propane,
Like the Coleman propane.
Yeah. I have one of those buddy heaters and it just runs off the small propanes. But I
A good
learned.
sleeping bag would be fine, right?
Well,
Yeah, that's what you think.
yeah. So I would be comfortable with using that in there because I'm sure it's well ventilated. Because I learned my lesson using those buddy heaters in a deer blind with everything zipped up except for like a little peephole. Made me lightheaded and almost passed out.
Yeah,
That's how you sleep.
Yeah, and
You
they're
can't
like,
sleep.
these are safe in, enclosed areas. No, dude, I had that heater on and I started feeling funny and I stood up and started to fall back. And it was because I had that heater running with no ventilation, but I'm sure in there running that, I would feel comfortable with running that buddy heater in there.
You remember that Chevy Sonic my
I
sister
have a
had?
big propane heater.
We were driving that thing one time, and like the air conditioning's running, and smoke just starts pouring out of the vents into the car, and I was like, "Well,
If this is it.
That 6.9 you had you get fumigated.
That was my only heat. That was the exhaust pump
It was
in
like
the
through the
truck.
floor, like through the something shifter or something. I don't know.
I was working on my Dodge in my grandpa's shop the other day, and I had it running for a while. And I went in there to talk to him, and I was like, "Man, Grandpa, it's starting to smell hilarious in there."
That has to run off electricity. I have the one.
Oh, yeah, true. I
the
forgot
ones
about
you
that.
just put right on top of a regular propane tank.
yeah,
That would
with
bring
like
one
the
of those.
two big
And the-
bug eye looking
Yeah,
things,
and you can use those inside. That'd be perfect for out there instead of the buggy because those put off way more heat.
I bet with the sleeping bag I have, I bet would be fine. I slept in that sleeping bag at the Grand Canyon in March.
Good sleeping bag makes all the difference.
In the truck.
Outside.
No, in the bed of my truck. I didn't remember. I tried to put the tent up and it didn't work, and so I just draped the tent over the bed. And then in the middle of the night, like it just sagged and like condensed, like water would like drip on my face. But I was so I was bundled up and I just like rolled over. So I had my pistol in the bed of the truck next to me, and then that was it.
I don't know though, because my sleeping bag is rated for like -10 degrees, and it only got to like 38 degrees out there, and my fat ass got cold.
Yeah, I slept in my snow coat. I froze.
I have a Coleman mummy bag, and it's rated for like -10.
I have just a Walmart one.
That's every time I've stayed outside, it was a Coleman like you're talking about, and they do a good job.
They're awesome. The mummy bags, I love.
But it's also got a wood stove.
A wood stove,
like a usable wood stove.
You can't count on that.
But the heater I have. The stand-up propane one, that would be perfect.
Or is this just a pipe running through the ceiling? It's going to burn the whole place down.
I can't show you because my phone's recording.
Yeah, you may want to clean the flue before you get in there and light it on fire.
Does it look like somebody's been burning in there?
A little bit, yeah. One time I went in there and there was a can of beans.
Free? Was it free?
It was empty, like they'd ate it.
It's warm. It's like it's still warm. I'm cracking down. So you said it's what, 3/4 of a mile back to it?
Yeah, and then you got to go back.
That's a long way to carry a full tank of propane, but it would last.
Are we talking a 500-gallon tank of propane, or what are we talking?
No, just a 5-gallon. Yeah, that's heavy. That's to carry almost a mile. Just like
people be thinking we're making moonshine back there
with everything else. But
we would be. What do you mean thinking?
You'd be warm
I don't even
all
like
night.
moonshine.
Just even on low, those things heat a whole room, and one tank of propane lasts like
the room in there is like it's like that window to the wall from here. From where we're
you can always cuddle if it gets too cold.
True.
I'm a good cuddle. Not really, actually.
You can cuddle with the skinwalkers out there.
Yeah.
See, I wish we were like Heavy D Sparks. He just takes his helicopter out there and then I don't think you can
helicopter out there. It's like in the bottom of like a little valley and there's trees and shit.
What time
all over the
is
place? 3 o'clock now.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of time.
Last weekend I started hiking up this time and then I got lost and the sun started going down. I was like, oh.
Out there?
No, not there. A different place.
I have a flare gun. If we get lost, we can get found.
And then we got.
I'll tell you what though, if I come up missing after like 18 hours of me not talking to anybody, there's gonna be a whole fucking search team for me, dude. They'll be like, "Where's that drunk bastard in on Snapchat?"
You know, like if I saw somebody shoot a flare. If I saw somebody shoot a flare, I don't think I'd be like, "Oh, I need to go rescue that." I'd be like, "Did you guys see that?" And then walk off. Yeah.
But
I wonder what they
it really depends on the location. Like someone out there, like somewhere out there where it's like a national or a state, park, trail or whatever. Seen it out there, I would probably be considering.
Just say you're like,
if I'm standing right here and saw a flare, go across the field, I'd be like,
That's somebody shooting fireworks out there.
Yeah.
On like a ship out in the ocean, be like, look at that guy swimming far as fucking.
Good for you, man. Getting in shape.
Yeah, because every now and then I do just randomly shoot off a flare in the backyard just for that.
Yeah, see, nobody's going to save you.
Nobody's actually, but it's also
Pride Wolf classic.
Yeah. Or you're supposed to shoot a gun like 3 times. They say that in the hunter safety course.
They say like 3 of any or 5 of anything. That's like on a boat.
3.
You're supposed to like honk the horn 5 times. That's like a fucking.
It is like if you're.
Well, I've shot a gun 3 times, a few times, and
nobody's ever come.
Nobody's ever come to see what's wrong.
Who's gonna run towards somebody, unload, and pop?
Okay, but like the thing is that like if you just shoot your time, this would be like in a scenario where you know people are looking for you. When you know that
if you're out in the middle,
it's been long enough that someone knows something's up.
If you're in Big Bend and you saw that,
sure,
I'd be like, somebody's screwed. Somebody better go help that guy.
I like how that guy was like, he really picked the most secluded place in fucking America.
You got to see where we took the Toyota Corolla.
Oh, bro.
Cody said you had to push it up.
What?
There's like washouts and all sorts of stuff. Jacob had to get out and make sure we weren't.
Oh, did you not go, Matt? Oh,
There was some pretty good washouts on the way. I wouldn't have. Me being me, I wouldn't have took the car back there because I'd have been scared to get stuck in because you can't call anybody.
I got my
and it was like 3 miles back on this this dirt road.
Yeah, we'd have been in a pretty good predicament.
surely you could have found some immigrants out there wanting to help you push the car out.
We were talking to this guy, and we were like, "Is that an issue?" And he's like, "Well, you don't really have to worry about them. It's just a bunch of drug deals coming here through. They ain't trying to get caught, though." And I was like, "Oh, all right, they're just going to try to kill me.
Yeah,
so there's no witness.
They're not going to kill you if you try to steal their drugs.
Yeah, but they all have free drugs.
I asked them if they'd share. I was trying to be nice. I was yelling at it. I was like,
That guy we camped with was probably one of the mules.
yeah, because he's like, oh,
He had everything.
like every weekend. I'm like,
Yeah, he did say that. And I used to be a cop, so what he used to say. Or what he said, wasn't it?
we were talking about how you might have been a park ranger because you seem to know a lot of stuff that normal people just wouldn't know.
We didn't have a campsite or anything, and there was like this road that went way up in the mountains. We're like, oh, we could park here.
Yeah.
And so we were like about to unpack everything, and then that other guy, he's like, "Good thing you didn't camp there. That's the
that's a driveway.
border patrol's the driveway."
There's a giant gate. It's like no trespassing. Do not enter driving trail and all this. So we're like about to camp right beside the gate, not in front of it. And he's like, yeah, probably good thing you didn't do that. They got like random houses where they just live out in the mountains and stuff out here. And they were like, that's probably one of their driveways. And we were like, oh, yeah, probably a good thing then.
Kendall, remember when we went to Colorado and we were sitting in that hot tub?
And that lady was telling us she was a cop.
And before that, I'd never seen somebody so just like in the back of the corner of the hot tub. And then you were like, you laughed a lot whenever she said she was a police officer.
Yeah. I ain't got all that back the blue in me, I can assure you that. Yeah. And I was not old enough to be doing what I was doing, so. Well, it was the middle of winter, and I went and swam in the swimming pool to get away from the cops, so.
It was like a little heated area.
I assure you it wasn't that warm.
Yeah, the pool was cold.
Yeah, it was pretty cold.
That was a cool.
It was nice. I mean, it was fine.
I want to stay in one of the nice hotels where like the hot tub's outside and it's like snow.
They got cool Airbnbs that are like that.
Yeah.
When I stayed at Yellowstone when I was a kid. We had a
that's gotta
cabin.
be
We
expensive.
had a cabin it wasn't in Yellowstone. It was like in Idaho, so it was just outside. And there was a hot tub on the porch. It was
That's
pretty
awesome.
nice.
I bet that was nice, honestly.
Yeah,
Snowing down.
it wasn't snowing.
You gotta have like to get up to those houses. You gotta have like a legit off-road vehicle, or no, not a Supra. You got stuck in a ditch the other day whenever it snowed an inch.
I went in the ditch, but I could drive around in the ditch, no problem. I just
couldn't get out.
It was a 6-foot tall ditch. Okay, I went in that some bitch
Why'd you go in the ditch?
because it was icy, and I was like, I wonder if I can break the tires loose, and I could, all 4 of them.
All 4 of them.
And then I went straight in the ditch. And then I got halfway out, and I high centered it on the edge, and then this.
You didn't blow a head gasket though.
Dude, I didn't put a dent in that thing either. I did it. I was like hammering it to try to get out, and I would get out so that I'm like this on the side, and then I would lose traction, and then slide and slam into the ground on my passenger side. No dents or anything. Then I got pulled out.
By Dodge, wasn't it?
That was a Chevy.
Dang it.
3/4 ton, like 2016 or something. Nice pickup. Gasser too.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
I bet those apartments we were at Keystone, I bet they got stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like the hotel out on
yeah.
or not the hotel out, the hot tub out on
at the
yeah.
where we're at the mountain.
I stumbled across it the other day, that picture of you two in bed together. You look so mad.
I was on that Cody because
You were like,
Cody was like freaking out about it. He's like, all right.
you
Put a pillow in the middle. This is the line. Don't cross it. And I was like, how about this, Cody? I won't have sex with you. You don't have sex with me. And we'll
Yes,
Yeah,
but nothing good can come from it.
you trying to censor us? You're fake
No.
news.
No, I
You're
don't.
fake
I don't
news.
care what you
got
say.
banned on TikTok.
Yeah, for what? I
They
don't-
can't ban me on
I think
TikTok.
it's
So
because
This isn't TikTok.
oh,
I don't know. Oh yeah, no, we got banned like 30 minutes ago, or
yeah, we got.
it was like 20 minutes ago.
was that on Instagram?
No, I was on live on TikTok.
TikTok
Oh.
Live. He's got a shit ton of followers.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
160,000.
Everybody that we're gonna be like doing the podcast with has like triple what I do.
Well, and we had some guy that was coming. We'd have had over like what 500,000 people followers if that guy would have showed up.
Singer.
Yeah, Trent.
Come on.
Trent Tanner. But
We bring
Do you have
187.
mine in there?
Do you have TikTok?
No, but on Instagram I got like 600 followers.
so-
So that's what
Yeah.
questions are here. Our
Us.
closing questions.
Okay. No,
Are we at the point?
no. Thought you were
You're
about
saying
to
that's it?
start the closing questions.
Yeah, no.
Now I'm curious though.
Yeah,
So now I can't wait.
yeah, because we got a pack.
Stay tuned for
I'm
these.
starving right now.
We got a pack.
You just said that every
Yeah, less
podcast.
than an hour.
Why don't you?
Is it after
We got a pack for the cabin too.
It's 3:16.
We'll have to,
Yeah.
we'll have to talk
I
about
mean,
this. If we're gonna go or
so
not.
I'll leave. So I guess if you want to close it down.
Kendall,
Okay.
where can our listeners find you online?
They can't.
That was the closing question?
That's one of them.
Okay.
I use DuckDuckGo so that none of you can find me.
What are 3 books you'd recommend to our audience?
Oh, I just bought 3 books,
gosh.
and so oddly enough,
Did he
I can
really?
do it. Yes, I did. I bought the Guerrilla Forces or Guerrilla Warfare and Special Forces Handbook. And the first, most of it
is going to be on your ass.
most of that book is like just like actual tactical maneuvers and decisions. But the first like 15 pages, it's not that long of a book, but the first like 15 pages, it talks about like people whose government is oppressing them, or why people use guerrilla warfare and that kind of thing. And it's interesting on that part of it, just because you learn like where it's been used and why they used it before.
Guerrilla warfare for our listeners. Definitely not me.
It's not just for like for Cody.
I definitely know.
Well, it's just
Definitely.
like unconventional warfare. Like, so it's a smaller group attacking a larger, more powerful one.
They're trying to be strategic about it.
Yeah, and so
that they can-
He
told me
if you want to.
I think of Vietnam when somebody says that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's a lot. I mean, yeah, that's what it was, because like we had a big force, and so they were like,
And they still kicked
like
ass.
small, fast-moving groups that like attack and then retreat, attack and retreat, and attack and retreat.
Hide in
That's what it
trees
mostly
and
is.
holes
Yeah.
in the ground and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me
They're
that
in the
he
trees.
he told me that he went and bought this book. I thought he was screwing with me because he makes fun of me for reading books and stuff. But he's like, yes, but guerrilla warfare. And I was thinking like gorillas out fighting each other. So I was like, you did not. There's no way. I see.
Yeah.
Just like
It's like a UE, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, GUER.
I hadn't seen the book yet. He just said he ordered a guerrilla warfare book. I was like,
I would read that book.
It is. It's the. I mean, a lot of it's kind of boring because it's just like tactical, like showing you how to move and like how the ranks are split up. But it is interesting just for that.
Sorry, we're not live.
Yeah. Good.
And the third book?
The Unabomber Manifesto by
Actually, I
Ted
want to read
Kaczynski.
that. Did you actually read that?
No, I've not read that, but
wanna read
I
that.
would like to read it.
You can just buy that on Amazon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because he's not telling people to go bomb people.
This is some good content.
can you exit that out?
Yeah. Close it. No phone calls on the podcast.
There you go. The Unabomber what?
Manifesto.
So Unabomber's
I've told you about this
shipped a
before.
bunch of bombs, but
The Unabomber was a guy, he was a terrorist and he thought the world needs to go back to
Oh, yeah.
And part of his demands to like not blow shit up, it was like he told the New York Times, he's like, publish this thing that I wrote,
Yeah.
and they did. And then somebody turned it into a book and sold it, and they said that they still sell it, but there's some disclaimer saying that like all the proceeds for it just go to some charity or something.
Did you know
what about O.J. Simpson? They did the same thing.
Like the families.
Yeah, because he made a book called If I Did It.
Yeah, so
And-
the wife's family
yeah.
got the rights to it or something
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it's the same book, and it's still called If I Did
Do you
It.
watch
But If is
Vsauce on
tiny.
TikTok? Is that where you sell this? Because
I don't have TikTok.
Well, okay. Well, the Vsauce, you know that YouTube channel? Because he talked about
That sounds-
about the
I don't know that.
Unabomber, and he talked about that book, OJ's book, like last week on TikTok. I saw. Funny looking.
He
dude.
talked about how like the Industrial Revolution was like it's a
Bad thing.
bad
It's like
thing.
the beginning of the end of well, basically what mankind, that we should all just go back to hunting and gathering and shit. And he said-
I'm all good with that as
interesting-
long as I keep making cool guns.
There are interesting implications of that,
Yeah,
though. Like
yeah.
talking about like how the psychology of the brain within the modern world and how, shit like that.
Well, if we'll just go off the beat path here. If we don't figure something out quick, it could be the downfall of man.
100%. I think
Because we just consume and consume and consume and consume.
I think we'll figure shit out.
I don't know. I think the world's
we're
kind
in
of
some-
dumb right now.
We're in a really crazy. There's been within the last 6 months some really crazy technological advancements in AI and fusion reactors. Like that's
that's
gonna change a lot of
what
things.
the fusion reactors is what we need to get. I mean, that's where we should be heading. Yeah, that could save the world. I think.
I'll be dead before
More
any of this makes a shit to me, though. So.
I bet it won't.
Hey, you know,
Hopefully, everybody that watches this in the future, good luck to you. I'll be dead.
Yeah, I'm not like a crazy environmentalist or anything, but I think about like how much fuel and
Really?
death cans and stuff we use in a week.
Yeah.
Insane. I'm not big into that either, but I totally agree. If you really sit there and think about like
Or how many
engines are running right now,
Yeah.
right this second,
I had this
right
argument.
now across the world, that is crazy.
If you go to the landfill, it'll just
Oh, yeah.
it's just
Wake you up.
to think
Right?
about
Yeah,
how
the
much
landfill's
trash
awful.
is just
Yeah.
we're just burying it. and we're not doing anything with it. It's just, and it's going to be there, and it's just going to keep adding up over and over and over.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not only that. It's like none of that stuff gets recycled. So it's just like it all has to get pulled from somewhere else.
People all the time, they say things. They're like, "Why don't we send our trash into space?" Never mind the fact that that's expensive and wouldn't be feasible. Then we're just like getting rid of things. We should just be. It'll be a precious resource eventually. Like 1,000 years from now, we might run out of whatever we use to make plastic. And
Exactly. That's a very good point, though. Yeah. That is a really good point, honestly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, and I had this argument with my dad the other day. It wasn't really just a dispute, I guess, but
I can imagine how this conversation would go with your dad.
It was like, would you park your car inside the garage running with you in it? He goes, no. Okay. I was like, well, we're all on one planet here, and there's millions of cars and stuff out there polluting. It's we're all in one big garage right now. Like, I'm not saying we shouldn't drive cars. I'm just saying we should work on trying to figure something out.
That's a good point.
It's kind of dumb to not think that it could have an effect on it. Just kind of like, yeah, that's a decent point.
Yeah, but the Cummins go brrr.
Obviously, there's a lot of scenarios where people have solutions to these things, but then there are other drawbacks to it. Like electric vehicles obviously don't put out any carbon emissions, but then
making them
problems.
does. So.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually better or if it's actually worse than. Yeah. It's just a different problem.
Yeah.
What's weird to me is,
I mean, you do the best you can't. Like right now, that seems like the best option we have.
Problem? Yes, that sounds like
as of right now. I mean, you still got the power plants, and you still got all that.
That's where the nuclear power comes.
And then you got to have all the diesel trucks and stuff, haul all the extra power poles, and you got to set up the have thicker wires here so you can carry electricity this way. Now, I don't think we can get rid of cars anytime soon.
I bet it's going to happen in my lifetime. 100%, I guarantee.
Well, that's not very soon.
When I was like 16, 17, I was...
That wasn't that long
ago. Smoking, yeah, I don't know, whenever. I don't know, 3 years ago. I was like smoking some pot, and I was like, if the Earth is one big magnet... why can't we just have cars that are like the reverse magnet? And we all just have it. And I was like watching YouTube videos and shit. I was like, I'm gonna be so rich off this.
Not a bad idea.
Make a big track,
left train
north. Yeah. That's not how that works.
How do you know?
I saw an interview with Elon Musk the other day. He was talking like if we ended gas production today, it would still be 80 years before all the gas vehicles were off the road. He was just talking because like. People fix cars up and they keep going. It just takes them that long to get into the junkyard to where they're not usable anymore. It would take 50 to 80 years to really.
So I'd be dead anyway. It wouldn't make shit to me.
Maybe.
So what they would have to do is something Kendall doesn't want.
Hell, I damn sure ain't gonna lift the bill for 100.
Yeah, maybe not you. I guess with all the alcohol and stuff. But
there ain't no way I'm gonna be 100.
Yeah, I'm all for any of this, Matt. But they should not be forcing it by legislation. It should be if the electric cars work better or they are more feasible than driving around in a diesel truck or a gas car.
Not everybody thinks that.
Then I think it should be.
Not everybody is going to have that clear of a head about it. Some people are going to resist just to resist.
Yes, but if it's cheaper to drive a gas car, the majority of people or a electric car, the majority of people are going to buy
an electric car. For a lot of people to drive a Prius than their lifted Cummins, and they do it anyways because they like it.
Well, yes, but not everybody. And when there's more availability, when there's a truck, or trucks that are decent to use to actually work with and they're cheaper, companies aren't going to keep buying, because the majority of pollution isn't individuals that are making it. It's mostly these big industrial companies.
What about instead of making it illegal to drive such and such car, what about places where they already do that, where the government will give tax breaks or something to big companies to incentivize them to be more sustainable in their manufacturing or to do a certain thing? What about that? That's still the government giving money to private citizens for that too.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be having to pay taxes anyway, so I guess it's just...
Because they have it right now for electric cars.
I think that the tax breaks is... I mean, if there's going to be all this, then the tax breaks is a good plan, like getting a tax break to put solar on your house, and especially with like solar... As far as that goes, the only way that's sustainable is if everybody puts it on their house, and like you can't just have one big field that runs solar for everybody. I don't think
you could do that. The problem is transporting the electricity and the storing it. We don't have like batteries that are good enough.
Yeah. So if everybody had a solar setup on their house, it would be nice. But
what we need is nuclear power plants to replace all the coal, because that could already happen. It's just kind of expensive, and then renewable to like power, like solar and wind to supplement it.
So is
But don't take his word for it.
Take my word.
So is it
Take my word for it.
I've seen a nuclear reactor with my own eyes.
is it better
down
for
again,
the general
guys.
population
Yeah,
to like
Fuck me.
where the government makes you do it, or like because there's two ways that people do things: they're forced to do it, or they're incentivized to do it.
Yeah.
So it is This is I'm just talking.
Okay.
Is
Let
this
it out.
is incentive good enough to get people to switch over to something like that?
Maybe it's case by case basis, I would imagine.
But you don't need, like, I don't think we need to switch everybody over to an electric car, and I don't think we need to get rid of gas and diesel. I think we just need to, you know, if it works and it's better, people just will do it.
I think that's the part. That's the government, instead of trying to give that incentive to the people, instead they give the incentive to the companies who already know how to market all that to the people. So they make it cheaper for the big company to make an electric car than a gas car. Then that company is going to make that decision for themselves, and then the people will start buying the electric cars because they're going to market it that way.
And at the same time, like, they say it's so much better for the earth to drive a Tesla or whatever, but if you went to the Congo and saw a cobalt mine, you'd be like,
But then again, a lot of people like to forget about there are tons of deaths that happen because of coal power that
and
it's just not as
everything. It's not
immediate.
just-
And we don't see it like people getting shot in the Congo for something. So it makes people feel like it's less prevalent. But there's like it's one of the biggest causes probably. Don't take my word for it.
I feel like gas and batteries, they're both just as bad as polluting. Because when the batteries go bad, what do you do with them?
You throw them in the
If
ocean.
you're not going to recycle them, you're just going to throw them away.
Why
You
are
throw
we
them in the
just-
ocean. It's not
Throw them in
illegal.
the ocean. It's all.
Well, I would imagine they would have to get recycled
in
because
the
they're made
long-
of precious metals that want to
Maybe,
reuse.
but I mean, how
It's not
often
the same as a car battery.
Every day we throw away batteries, though.
I feel like we're doing a really
Well, you're not
bad
supposed
job. We're just talking about cars.
What are you supposed to do with batteries, though?
Like there's a billion other things that oil produces that is making
It's just a
problems.
never-ending cycle. We've just pretty much.
They say sea cargo is one of the biggest problems with oil. That's one of the biggest uses of fossil fuels.
Well, a Tesla's made out of plastic.
Well, yeah,
Plastic's oil. Like we rely on it so much.
Without oil already, it's just not as cheap. Money's the problem. Money is the as
money's
they say,
always
the
the
root of
problem.
all evil.
and it's not real.
It's exactly.
Facts.
I watched again. I've seen it a million times, but The Big Short the other day, and it's just trillions of dollars that just wasn't real and just disappeared out of nowhere, you know. Yeah. And then people lost their jobs and houses and stuff because fake money disappeared.
That's so crazy to me.
I know. It's interesting.
Don't take my word for it.
I gotta go.
Kendall,
thanks for jumping in here.
Yeah. What's one question you wish we had asked?
What his Venmo is, so you guys can send him money.
Any money that goes through here goes to us. What are you looking for?
I'm thinking of a question that
I wish you would have asked.
I don't
really
care.
know. No.
When was the last time you were interviewed?
When I worked for Cody, I applied for a job and I had an interview then. I got the job too.
Where?
Johnson Controls. They did fire systems. What am I trying to think of?
Fire suppression.
Like the in the
sprinklers.
like a Walmart or an apartment or whatever.
Yep. I got the job and I stayed to work for you.
Yeah, he was like, "This is such a good opportunity."
Yeah, this is such a good opportunity. No, they offered me $14 an hour, and I was like, "Fuck that! I ain't getting off the couch for $14 an hour."
Yeah,
Cody
you
lets
lying.
you take his truck home all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, now I take his.
yeah. Now he takes my truck.
Last episode, he was like, "We don't have another mic because I left it in my car and I have Kendall's truck."
I'm gonna have to buy one because
No.
I can't just borrow a truck. I got a house I got to work on next door,
Oh,
and the new GMCs
I'll sell you a
are
truck.
looking real nice.
I'll sell you a square body.
Which
for
one?
$10 million.
Not the Dodge.
What you want?
Same.
I'd take the Ford.
Okay.
That's fine.
We'll split it.
Huh?
I'll throw mine in if you just split it with me.
I really like those new GMCs or the new Chevys.
It's funny because you used to hate him.
You know you need to buy a Ford.
I know.
Why?
I like the new Dodges. I like the new Fords, and I like the new Chevys. So I'm
According
gonna.
to Tesla, they're ramping up the production of the Cybertrucks.
The new Fords are the best.
I like how I like how Mustang was the first one to hop on the Tesla trend.
Electric.
With their new... It's like the same thing. They're like...
Yeah, it looks the same.
If it didn't have a fucking horse on it, you wouldn't tell the difference between a Mustang and a Tesla. They're like the same car.
Yeah.
Have you
Lots
seen
of electric cars out now.
Have you seen one of the new...
Yeah, I've seen them before.
It looks just like a Tesla to me.
It's called a Mustang Mach
they are.
E.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
Yeah,
We gotta go.
That's it.
Yeah, we're
Right.
good.
Thanks for having me, and don't take my word for it.
Yeah.
We got